that is being seen and heard live everywhere. What is going on tonight? What's going on, everybody? Certainly, I hope that you have had a pretty good day so far. Hope that you have made it through safely. Quite sure you have. If you're watching me, you're good. Just go to work as we prepare for very interesting talk tonight. Hello to everybody that's on Podbean. Hello to everyone that is on the Big Time Show YouTube page, as well as the Big Time Show Facebook page and my personal page, and to all of you that may be watching my Twitch and all the other various platforms, of course, the Sports Empire Network Facebook page, as well as the also their YouTube page as well. So again, I guess I got to say hello to everyone that's listening to this replay by iHeartRadio, Pandora, LinkedIn, Google Podcasts, all the places where the Big Time Show podcast is. Welcome to everyone. Glad to be with you tonight as I dive into my little own thoughts about the draft. As we know, the Cowboys just completed their draft on tonight. And before I get there with that, let me say to those that are watching by Facebook or YouTube specifically, if you're on watching by Facebook, whether that's my personal channel or my YouTube page, the Big Time Show page, you can join us in supporting the podcast by simply, if you're watching Facebook, you'll notice that right there at your bottom right, I believe, and you'll see the stars. You can contribute that way. And then, of course, if you're on the Big Time YouTube page, you can do the super chat. That is right there. That is a way that you can simply come alive and come support the channel as much as just not a requirement, but it would be greatly appreciated if you would consider that for tonight. So welcome to everybody that's on the Sports Empire Network page, whether it's the Facebook or the YouTube as well. Listen, we are going to talk tonight about simply what the Cowboys did in the draft. I guess all to say real quickly to see if, how do you feel about the draft? For those that are there, if you are there and want to jump in the chat, you can do that live. Where, hey, G Puman, I see you over there. Talk to me about how you feel about the draft. Let me know. By now, we already know what we have drafted so far. We also have free agents as well that have been, I guess, signed. Going to try to find a list for that so far, what we've done. Agents. See what we have. See what we have here. Okay. Let's see what we have here so far. Got it there. Let's see what we have done so far. The undrafted free agents that we signed. Now I'll go through that list as well. They won't let me get it here. Okay. All right. Well, I do have it. Okay. So we'll look at that in just a second. We'll look at that as well. I'm a little off right now, so I don't know what's going on. I ain't vibing right now. You think that they drafted well. What's up, Greg? I see you. Appreciate you popping in. I don't know why this StreamYard is acting up on me. So if there's any glitches or anything, it's not because of my YouTube. I almost should have did this on my restream, but it's okay. I'm here now. Let's roll. Let me start it off, and then I need you guys to help me out and just tell me what you feel, what you think happened. I think that if we were doing a letter grade on the draft, I'm going to give it right at about a C minus. What's up, Mr. Burns? What's up, bro? Good to have you, Mr. Burns. Appreciate you popping in. I'm going to give it about a C. I don't know what's between a C plus and a C minus. Whatever that is, that's what I believe it's just a C then, right? I give it a C. Tell me what you think. My guy on Podbean, G Puman 45 said that they drafted well this year. Give me a letter grade, G Puman. Give me a letter grade on yours. Everybody else that's watching here, I see Greg put down a D. Mr. Burns said he liked that running back. Give me a letter grade, Mr. Burns. I just want to see where everybody is. Greg says a D. You see if G Poo Man said that he said a B minus. I give it a C. And my C, let me explain myself. My C, and Mr. Burns said a B, okay? My C is not because of the talent level. It's just that the positioning of the draft and what was on the board, that really, when you look at the overall draft, I mean, let's be honest, not saying the guys aren't talented that got drafted, I'm saying probably past pick number 12 or 13. Really is not. It's not a top. It's really not a. Mostly everybody has said it. It's really not a real blue chip type draft. Okay. And in the Cowboys case, which is different, Mr. Burns, I don't think you were with me in my last show, and G. Puman, hear me out. Greg, I know you were with me. Hear me out. The Cowboys came into the draft, if you ask me, they came into the draft pretty much stacked. And what I'm saying there is that the starters are pretty much already set, with the exception maybe of only really one spot, and that was left guard. That's it. Offensively, defensively, the starters are already pretty much set. And then the Cowboys, who have drafted so well over the last few years, not only are they loaded as far as their starters go, but the backups are pretty much set. Once you really, break down each position and the backups, they're already pretty much set. And so the Cowboys walked in my view, other than special teams help, I really didn't see a lot of spots where there was availability for a draft pick to really come in and really make a serious impact because the lack of playing time. I mean, the playing time is very limited. I mean, I don't feel like going down the whole roster, but quarterback is set, running back. Other than we don't know what Pollard is coming off of his injury, but he's pretty much set. Back up, we did get Mr. Ronald. We got Jones. I know what we just drafted. I don't know really where a guy can really make a gigantic impact, maybe with the exception of left guard. Puman says you draft what's best available, but this draft we did not draft any troublemakers. I don't even think the Cowboys drafted the best available, Puman. I really don't. I think they had selections, and they based every team do this. They base their selections off the area that they best fit the team. So I don't believe they drafted what's best available. I think that they already know that. And they said this in their press conferences, like our depth kind of dictated our draft. I believe that. I said that, right here at the beginning. So based off that, I say it was a C. However, we did hit, in my view, at least in two of the picks, we did hit a home run. We did. Particularly in the 3rd and 6th round. I'll get into that in a minute, but that's the reason why I'm saying I don't put it out there. When you draft them at 26, then you draft all the way at 90. Then you draft at whatever it was, 120 or something like that. I mean, there's some great, good talent players in the 2nd, 3rd round. 4th round, even the 6th round, obviously. 7th round as well. But we really weren't looking to do it. I call this draft the draft of weapons. Like, I was already convinced that the defense was already ready to play football right now. I've already said that. Even in the linebacker room, which is what I thought was the weakest link as far as our defense goes, was linebacker. I'm coming, Mr. Burns. I'm coming. But I'm telling you now, I really thought that the linebacker position probably was the weakest link of the defense. But that's taken care of now. But I believe our defense was ready to play football before the draft. So anything that you add to it, if you're going to add anything, you need to add some weapons to make the defense stronger than what it already was. We talking about a top 10 defense. The people that you may add, can they propel your defense to maybe, instead of being a top 10, can you now get into the top 5 in defense? And when you already have people already ready to go, the way I look at it is that all you need to do is add some weapons. And so in the 3rd round, the Cowboys, I begged, if you were on my last show, I begged for DeMarvion Overshown. I begged for him. That's who I wanted in the first place, because he is such a weapon that he's a missile. If you don't know who Overshown is, the linebacker from Texas that used to play safety. He's about 6'3". He's a freak of nature, about 225 pounds, whatever. small to play linebacker, no question about it. But if you watch the tape on him right now, you already know that he is a weapon. I mean, a serious weapon. He's fast. He can cover tight ends. He can cover running backs. He used to play safety, and he will knock your head off, which is even more I like. He almost plays exactly like Donovan Wilson. Highly emotional, uh, looking to make a play. He's a playmaker on defense. Not only that, you now get a guy that loves to play special teams. He plays special teams even in his senior year at Texas. So this kid is going to walk right in and going to play special teams right from the start. Right from the start. And as we know about Dan Quinn has certain packages for whatever. I mean, just he keeps fresh bodies out there. I'm trying to get you to understand Overshown will hit the field this year. He will. He's going to get some playing time. He can rush the passer. He can play on every level. He can play the linebacker position. He can get on the edge as well. And if push comes to shove, he can sneak right back there at safety. He almost remind you of that Isaiah Simmons kid that got drafted to the Cardinals a couple years ago, who can play on every level of the defense. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you want. Oh, that's what you want. You want that. A kid that can play anywhere on the field. That's what we call a football player. So I love that pick. If you haven't seen his tape, you probably need to go watch that. The other pick that was a home run pick is what Mr. Burns is asking me for. And that was Deuce Vaughn, running back from Kansas State. Now, if you haven't seen him run the ball, then I don't know where you've been in the last year and a half, 2 years. Deuce Vaughn is electrifying. Deuce Vaughn is a automatic home run hitter. You could throw him a 5-yard swing pass, and before you know it, he'll be hitting his head on the goalpost. He is dynamic in the open field. He can catch the ball, but most importantly, contrary to what a lot of people think, he's only 5'5", 5'6", one or the other. But if you watch his tape, there's something interesting there. He can run between the tackles. See, when you get a little kid like him, you automatically think all he can do is just run outside. That, not this kid. This kid, you can give him the ball. He's not a bell cow, okay? When I say a bell cow, he ain't trying to be like Derrick Henry and run the ball 28, 29 times a game. That ain't what you get him for. He's not a gadget type guy. Kansas State leaned on him tremendously. If you've seen his tape, he's done against everybody, including the quote unquote great Alabama defense. He lit them up. So this kid is very different. He's different. Emmitt Smith, I believe, was about 5'9", Mr. Burns. I believe he was about 5'9". Now, exactly. Thank you, Shane. I think he was about 5'9", but he was much bigger, obviously, than Deuce. But here's the part why I say that was a home run. Because I'm under the firm belief that Dak Prescott needs as many weapons as he can get. And based off, I hate to say this, but based off of two teams in the NFC that I'm looking at, and you always have this surprise team coming, but based off what the 49ers and the Eagles have on offense, and as many points as they will score, you better have enough weaponry on your offense that you can go ahead and if push comes to shove, you can match up. If your defense is having a bad game, you turn that ball back to Dak, he can put up 30, which is what Dak for the last few years has done, to be honest with you. We just didn't have a defense that could stop nothing. But Dak Prescott and this offense was putting up 30. I mean, they were the number one offense in the league, and even with the limited non-weapons that Dak had, he still was lighting it up, especially when the years when Cooper and Lamb got here, and then a healthy Gallup. That they were scoring 30. Wasn't even no question about that. You add a Deuce Vaughn to this offense, and he's not gonna start. So let's just stop that, and probably don't want him to start. I'm going to be honest with you, because McCarthy kind of lit on him. You saw the press conference after the second day picks, especially after that. They asked him about Deuce Vaughn, and the first name that he came up with was that he's looking at him as a Randall Cobb type player. Now, Randall Cobb, if you know about Randall Cobb could line up in the backfield, and he could line up as a receiver. Now, I don't think Deuce Vaughn, I know he can probably kill a linebacker, but I don't think that he's primarily a receiver. He catch the ball, but he ain't lying up in no slot and all that kind of stuff. That's just not him. So the way I figured, he's gonna be more of a running back than a wide receiver, which leads me to this question. Now, even though he's a home run hitter, my question is really how much time he's gonna get on the field. Because if Pollard is there, I don't think that Deuce Vaughn is your number 2 running back. I don't think so. I think that Ronald Jones is going to be our number 2 running back. And I believe that Deuce Vaughn has a real good shot at being our number 3 running back. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not going to get his opportunities. I'm just saying, when you really look in the scheme of things, like really how many carries you really think he's going to get a game? I don't think it's going to be a lot. I don't think so. I think that Ronald Jones is going to be our number 2, and I believe Vaughn may get somewhere between 5, and those 5 or to 7 carries a game will be big. I will say this, Mike McCarthy said that he wants to run the ball. It's setting up that it's kind of looking that way. It's looking like that he's stacking it up. He's a great player. I'm glad we got him. I just don't think he's gonna be. I noticed how I started seeing the memes out, and I saw the memes that had Tony Pollard and Deuce Vaughn together. And they were saying like, okay, this is number 1, number 2. I just don't see that. At least not right now. I don't see that. But Vaughn really ain't. He's not that type of dude. But when you get on the field, it's going to be electrifying. So I mean, you can imagine the packages. Put Pollard and Vaughn together in a package. I mean, good Lord, that's going to be something to deal with. So I just, he's a home run hitter. He's going to make plays. Mr. Burns said, how about punt returner? Well, he's not going to be our punt returner because that's already set. We already got Turpin. Turpin is our kick returner, and he's going to be our punt returner. He made a Pro Bowl last year from that. So we already got the punt return and kickoff return already set. By no means. We already got all that. That's done. I'm quite sure sometimes you can sneak Vaughn back there and do it. But Turpin is our primary returner, kick return, and punt returner. So I already know that's not, unless something real crazy happens, you can expect Kevontae Turpin to be our guy for that. So, but I love to pick of Vaughn, get Dak Prescott some weapons. That I can see a lot of swing passes going this year. I can see it happening. These guys are dynamic in open field. Everybody who's seen Deuce Vaughn, you already know Vaughn can hurt you quickly, easily. It is no question about that. So let's put it this way: adding a Deuce Vaughn to this team does not hurt your team. It only makes your team better. Oh, Shane goes against what I'm saying. And these just opinionated. We'll kind of get a vibe off that. I don't think we'll really know it because I really don't see Deuce Vaughn even playing in the preseason. That's how much I think they value him. I don't see Deuce Vaughn playing in preseason at all. So game one, whoever we playing, in week one, I believe that's when we'll see all this happen. I'm not sure if Tony Pollard will be ready by week one. Remember, he hurt himself in the playoff game. That was in December. So January, February, March, April, May. We only in the 5th month. He's not ready right now. I'm quite sure Pollard is progressing, but let's go to June, July, August, September. So we got another 4 months to get it together. And I'm not sure if that'll be 9 months since he got hurt. I don't know if he's a virgin because Debo catches the ball. See, Vaughn catches the ball, but he primarily catches it from and my best friend on here, my best friend who lives in Kansas City. He's a 49er fan, but we got him. I'm not sure if Vaughn really was lined up as a receiver a lot. Now, if he lines up as a receiver a lot, and I'm not that really familiar with K-State, I'm not. But Eddie, did he line up as a receiver? Help me out here. I know you say he's another Dan Sproles. I get that part. But did he line up a receiver a lot? I just don't remember that. I don't remember saying that. I remember him just, doing a lot of, yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So we can't really compare him to Debo because Debo is primarily a wide receiver who can run like a running back. Vaughn is not a wide receiver type. He can catch the ball, but it's from more of a screen, swing pass type set. It's not him lining up there. He ain't lining up in no slot. He ain't doing all that. He's 5'5". He's not. It's just not him. But Lord have mercy, is he dangerous? Oh, ain't no doubt about that. He is incredibly dangerous. So you give Dak Prescott another weapon with the other weapons he already has. Think about it for a moment, y'all. If you know about Mike McCarthy, even though he wants to run the ball, when he was offensive coordinator, as we've already kind of said before, he was in one of his main formations in his West Coast style offense was a 4 wide receiver set with a running back and that's it. All right. Watch of all the combinations you can have here. Just think about it. I give Mike McCarthy because if you're noticing this, y'all, think about everybody we got, including Brandon Cooks. When you think about CeeDee Lamb, even with Gallup, I don't know how he is now. Had a good whole year. Hopefully the knee is together. But remember, Gallup was a 4.48, 4.49 guy coming out of college. I don't know if he can get back there. But let's just say he run a 4.5. Now, that's possible. Think about this. You got Lamb, you got Brandon Cooks, you got Cavante Turpin. Now you add a Deuce Vaughn and a Tony Pollard. Mike McCarthy is building, whether you know it or not, he's building a track team. I'm serious. When you look at all the skill positions other than tight end, Mike McCarthy is because CD is a 4-5 guy, but every time on the football field, he gets behind people. He's one of those deceptively fast type dudes in a football uniform. Mike McCarthy, I see what he's doing. He is building a track team from the running. When you say Pollard and Deuce Vaughn, look at that speed. Okay, so when you look at the 4 wide receiver set that I was saying before, look at all the different combinations you can put out there. But let's just stick with it. We all know Brandon Cooks is fast. CD in my book is fast. Gallup, he may be the slowest, but if you call 4 or 5 slow, then so be it. I mean, that's your primary 3 receivers. Jalen Tolbert, who's getting a lot of publicity, runs a 4-4 something as well. So when you really look at this thing, he's going to try to really destroy people with matchups, which is what I ain't got no problem with it. The running backs are fast. Ronald Jones is fast. Okay? I mean, when you really look at this thing, you can see what's going on. McCarthy would know what to do with this. Jake Ferguson, as the tight end, is pretty, and I don't know, somebody got to show me that. Let me look it up myself, because I don't want to give out no fake. I don't want to give out no fake stats. Let me look at his 40 time. Well, he's not fast. He can jump though. Jake Ferguson ran a 4.7 40, but his vertical jump is 34.5, which means he can get up in there. So he can get there. He can move. Actually, Jake Ferguson, as much people like to talk about Hendershot, Jake Ferguson is faster than Peyton Hendershot. Hendershot ran a 4.8 40. So the Cowboys, in my, Shane said what I like. See, this is what I'm saying. You can imagine. Look at this. Shane is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. He said, what I like to see Turpin and Deuce on the field at the same time. Of course. Look at the problems. How about let's add one more to it, Shane? Why don't we add Cooks to that? Can you imagine Cooks, Turpin, Deuce on the field at the same time? Look at that. That's a problem. So I'm seeing what McCarthy is doing here. Because everybody that he's got on the offense has been kind of fast. I'm liking the intent. Let me put it that way. And let's not lose this. Because see, when you say fast guys, usually the word finesse comes with that. You can't put that on these guys. This is the reason why I'm saying it. Brandon Cooks has gathered over 1,000-yard seasons for a long, I think he had about 4 or 5 of them, or something like that. Well, you don't get 1,000-yard receiving being finesse, but you got to go against some of the better cornerbacks in the league. They body you up and all that kind of stuff. So I don't see how we can put finesse on that. Tony Pollard, we all know he's tough. He's not finesse. Deuce Vaughn, there's no way in the world you can say he's finesse. But if you've seen his tape at Kansas State, you already know. He was a primary weapon. He was running in between the tackles. He just wasn't no outside gadget guy. he was a guy that was really in there. He's tough. So these guys, we all know CD is tough. Brandon Cooks is tough. Gallup, of course, is tough. This is fast but physical. Let me put it that way. They're fast but physical. And when you're fast and physical, you can match up against any team in the league. If you want to get dirty, you can do it. You want to try to have a track meet, Lord knows we can do it now. So I'm liking what I'm seeing offensively. That was a great home run hit. But as we look here into the rest of the draft, of course I love the first round pick. I really was counting past. Really, I can go with, really, I love as you can see, I love our first three picks. I'm a Michigan Wolverine fan, so I know these first two picks because I watched them the last 3 years. Mozzie Smith, let me just tell y'all, for those that do not know him, most of us did not know him. Most of you guys didn't know him. Let me tell you something about Mozzie. It was very rare when he got pushed back. Usually with Mozzie, 9, maybe 8 times out of 10, he was pushing folks backwards. He's that strong. He was the strongest D tackle in the draft this year. He benched 225 32 times straight before he finally gave out. Do you understand how strong that is? So we got a legitimate defensive tackle. Not only was he that type of guy, but he also can just mess up a whole play because he's putting people there. I see you, Shane, talking about the field goal position. Well, you know, I've always said they was going to wait until, the last, I've always said they were waiting, until they were going to try people out. That's the way I look at it. The field goal kicker. I agree with you. We haven't addressed it, but I think they will later on. I don't think that was a high bit of importance to them. Mozzie is a great pick. Great pick. He's going to help us in our run defense. No doubt about that. I know about Schoonmaker, the tight end from Michigan. Now, here's the thing about what you got to think about. This is the reason why I say that Coach McCarthy is setting up. I'm actually starting to believe a little bit now his promise that he said he was going to run the football. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Cowboys, when it comes to the tight end position, number one, they ain't doing them. They got all Big Ten tight ends. Every one of them. Jake Ferguson, Wisconsin. What does Wisconsin do? Run the ball. Shoemaker, Michigan. If you watched Michigan last year, what did they do primarily? It's Jim Harbaugh team. They ran the ball. Sean McKeon, Michigan, Big Ten, run the ball. Peyton Hendershot, Indiana, Big Ten. What did they do? Run the ball. So it's obvious that not only is he getting a tight end that can catch football, but it also is an excellent blocker. If you have not seen Shoemaker in the running game with Michigan, you will see why the Dallas Cowboys picked him second round. But not only can he block, y'all, the kid had about 54 catches for about 700 yards last year. He can get open. He has hands. He can catch the ball. So even with him, I can see the double tight end set with him and Jake Ferguson. I can see that. And that's going to be dangerous. I'm serious. I can see that, and I can see it being incredibly dangerous. I can see it. This offense, whether you want to admit it, our haters, they ain't going to. They ain't gonna get no credit. But the Dallas Cowboy offense, in my view, has gotten better. And I'm not being a homer. I'm just saying I think that they're obviously better because of the addition of Brandon Cook by itself. But a healthy Gallup would really turn this thing to something else, if you ask me. But I really do believe that we have made the right decision. Yeah. What's up, Terry? I see you. I really do believe that. So these are, overall, no, individually, no, we didn't hit home runs as far as the draft pick goes. But as I said before, you got to look at the big picture. Really, if you're looking for a rookie to come in and play immediately on this team, it's not going to happen. I never saw it because we're already stacked. We're already stacked. I'm talking about starters and backups. The depth chart was already pretty much set. You're just trying to find some guys in that can contribute immediately. I'm saying Moses Smith, out of all these draft picks we got that you see here, Moses Smith is the only day one starter. That's it. Let's go down the list. I can see significant playing time for Shoemaker. Demarion Overshown will be an instant special team starter. And he's going to get some playing time on defense. Now, ain't going to be a lot of snaps, but I feel like he's going to get some time there because he is a defensive weapon. Now, I ain't talking about the rest of them, but Just Jr., Fiego, cousin of Vita Vea, that's going to be hard. And I'm not saying because the kid is not good. He's a Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year. He's a two-time, I believe, first team All-Mountain West player. So the kid got credentials. He can play. He definitely can do it. But look what he got to go through to get on the field from an edge perspective. D. Law, Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler, Sam Williams. I just named 4 right there. You still got Tack McKinley, who's on our team. I know I'm forgetting somebody that's obvious. I just forgot. I just named 5. Okay? Where is this kid going to fall into play? See, I hate drafting people that's in the 4th round and they automatically go into the practice squad. I don't like it. I mean, if they not good enough, they're just not good. I'm just saying, when we draft another edge rusher, I just don't see how he's going to get on the field. All right? Look at the 5th round. Azam Richards, the offensive lineman. After all this talk about getting the offensive lineman, we didn't spend anything on the offensive lineman until the 5th round. And here's the thing that you heard about him already. He is a flex type dude. He can play tackle and he can play guard. They've already said he can play both offensive line and guard. Now, that doesn't mean he can play left guard, which is where a lot of people are saying the weak link of our offensive line is. It's not a guarantee that this is the dude and he won't start anyway. So let's look at where he's going. Okay, Richards. Let's look at it. We already know pretty much who our top 5 is, okay? Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, Biotis, Zach Martin, Steele. But look at the backups, though. Farnock, Collins, Ball, Walesto. That's 4 guys right there. What is kid here for the 5th? I mean, really, who is he in a battle with? Because it ain't the starters. and it's really not a lot of the backups. See what I'm saying? You pick somebody, but I'm saying I just don't see where he's gonna fit in. Sixth round. This is a wasted draft pick if you ask me. Unless you just tell me this kid right here is about to be just a special teams player. The reason why I'm saying that, Eric Scott, the cornerback from Southern Miss. Well, I mean, good Lord, where he playing? For real. Gilmore, starter. Diggs, the other starter. Okay. Jordan Lewis is still on this team. Bland is still on this team. Osman Fat is still on this team. Nashawn Wright is still on this team. I just named 6 cornerbacks right there. Where he going? Where's Scott gonna play? I mean, I hate using draft picks and they automatically become practice squad players. Because he's not, I mean, who is he really gonna beat out? And keep in mind, there's another name that's still here. That's Anthony Brown. We ain't let go of Anthony Brown yet. Anthony Brown's still on this team. I think he's gonna be expendable, I'm saying, but as of right now, he's still on this team. 7 quarterbacks right there. I don't know what this Scott kid gonna fit with. I guess, but in fairness, I guess everybody said the same thing about Bland last year, and Bland ended up, being a gigantic piece of our defense last year. So I'm not gonna. One thing about Quinn, if you can play, he's gonna put you on the field. So that's what we'll say about that. Of course, Deuce Vaughn. I think Deuce Vaughn would be an immediate contributor, but it ain't gonna be a lot as much as what you think it is. Now Shane thinks he's gonna be our number 2 running back. I don't know. I think Ronald Jones gonna have a lot to say about that. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Terry. Let me stop saying what I'm saying and read it now. Whenever I see this super chat, I'm coming. Terry Turner says, I'm so glad that Mike McCarthy is smart enough to take the ball out of Prescott's hands and run the laces off the ball. It's starting to set up that way, Terry. Oh, I'm sorry, Coach Marr corrected me. He said Anthony Brown is a free agent. Thank you, Coach. I thought that he was still here. Okay, well, thank you, Coach. Anthony Brown is there. So I don't see where Scott, and God bless him. I hope he come in and ball out. But like I said, we said the same thing about Bland last year. And Bland ended up starting. I mean, not starting, but got a significant playing time. I don't see where Scott is going to fight his way to be at least now. In fairness, let's say this. The way the NFL is designed now, we run these big nickels, we run the dime defense, where you putting 4 or 5 DBs out there at the same time. So let me put my brakes on myself. I put the brakes on myself. It just depends on how good the kid can play. If you line up with 4, 5 wide receivers out, 4 wide receivers, you're gonna need cornerbacks to play. You ain't putting linebackers out there. You're gonna need it. So, if the kid comes in and plays well, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So let's look at that, the last one, and that's Jalen Brooks as a wide receiver. Coach Marv, since he's here, could probably speak more about Jalen Brooks because he lives in South Carolina, and I'm quite sure he keeps up with the Gamecocks. And I don't see where he gonna play. That's just me. When you look at our wide receiver set, maybe there's an opening at the 5th receiver spot. I got a feeling Jalen Tolbert maybe. We still got Stemmy, Fiaco. I mean, you see what I'm saying? I don't know where this kid gonna play. 7th round pick usually end up being on the practice squad anyway. I just don't see where he can fit in. So it's a few guys on here. I just don't know where my question marks, if you look at it, is Richards, the 5th round. Well, let's start with the fourth. Even though the kid got nice credentials, I just don't see. And everybody like to say, okay, well, you need to get as many pass rushes as you can get. And of course, this is barring we know somebody gonna get injured. Let me throw that in. That's going to happen. And maybe that somebody getting injured will open up a door. Oh my God, Terry, I forgot about him. When we started talking about cornerback, we forgot about Israel. Yeah, Muko. I mean Miyaka Mua. I mean, that's another cornerback. So again, I don't know how Eric Scott gonna get on the field. I don't know how he gonna. I don't even see an opening for him because he got to climb some guys who have the favor of Dan Quinn already. You can only play so much. I just don't. I can see some of these guys make the practice squad, but for Junior Fiaco, I don't see how he gonna get in. I don't. Playing edge, I don't see it. That's just me. I just saying he got too many hills to climb. Richards, he is not the starters you got to worry about. Can he beat out Ball? Let's just go there. Can he beat out Walesko? That's where his fight is going to be at right there. It's not going to be with the starters. It's going to be, can he beat out Ball? Can he beat out Walesko? Can he beat out Farnock? Can he beat Collins? Can he beat those guys out? I got a super chat here. This is Eastside Hair, a hater as he is always. He said, "Big time, what do you know about Tank Dell?" We talking Dallas Cowboy talk here, Eastside. Please, son. We don't talk Houston, Texas here. Okay? Anyway, but thank you for the super chat, though. Man. Thank you for the super chat. The show wouldn't be complete unless old hating Eastside Hair show. Okay. Richards, can he beat out backups? That'll be the answer to your question. As I already talked about Eric Scott, I don't see no way he can get on the field. Other than special teams. That's it. He might be an outstanding special teams player. That's how you make a team. Okay? That's how you make a team. So I'm not going to count him out. I'm quite sure he knows that by now, where he can be a special teams contributor. That'll be his way of making the team. And when we start talking about that, that's just about want and desire. Getting down the field as fast as you can and hitting somebody. Deuce Vaughn will play this year. I think he's going to be a real big contributor. He will. Him and our first 3 picks, they're going to get on the field. Jalen Brooks, But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that we also got to factor in. And that is that the guys, the team, all teams, get to keep all 90 some odd players all the way through training camp, even to the last preseason game. Now that is very interesting, because by then you will know who you want on your team. But most importantly, you'll know it's going to be a very rapid type craziness go on when that final cut go on, because some teams are going to try to get guys who've already been cut from other teams. That's going to be very interesting. I think there's a 2-week gap, I believe, between the last preseason week and that Thursday night game that Kansas City will open up, being the world champion. They opened it up. I think there's a 2-week gap there. So You know, I don't know how much time that is, but you got to learn. It's really unfair to guys who get cut and have to join the team. Now they got to learn the playbook, everything else. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how that goes. But let me say it again, and I'll be through with my little analysis here. Overall, I give it about a C. And it's not because of the talent. It's just that we got so many. We're already kind of set, as I said before. I'm not just talking about starters. I'm talking about backups too. We have drafted so well that even our backups are solid. And it's going to be kind of hard for these guys, with the exception of Mozzie, especially Mozzie. Mozzie's not really in this conversation. I think he's a day one starter. Shoemaker is going to be he's going to get some time. I believe he's your third tight end behind Ferguson and Hendershot. And I think he's better than Sean McKeon right now. Shoemaker is. And I believe the door is open for him to become the second tight end. I think him and Hendershot are going to have a battle. I think that's going to take place. Overshown is not going to be a starter anywhere, but Overshown is going to be a guy that gets on the field in certain packages because he's just a flat-out playmaker. Now, I'm just telling you, he is a playmaker, and when you got playmakers, you need to find a way to put them on the field. I think that Dan Quinn would use him in packages right from the beginning. I believe he's going to get playing time, and he will be, beyond a shadow of a doubt, he will be a special team starter. So that he'll come in contributing. Everybody else, other than on down the line, other than Deuce Vaughn, I just don't know. Other than Deuce Vaughn, after the third round, I'm sure on Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn will get playing time. Deuce Vaughn will be a day one contributor. Other than that, Fiaco in the fourth round, Richards in the fifth round, Scott in the sixth round, and Jalen Brooks, I don't think they're gonna be on our team. Now, y'all don't have to agree with me. It's just my thoughts by looking at it. Overall, Dak needed a weapon. They have done well. They gave him Brandon Cooks. They gave him Deuce Vaughn. That's what you call weapons. You got weapons. That's what they did. They did it. That Shoemaker, I'm off now. I'm sorry if y'all ain't seen him. I'm telling you what I know. I'm a Michigan Wolverine fan. I watched every game. I'm telling y'all, Shoemaker is a problem. We just hope that it translates to the NFL. But at Michigan, he was a problem. That's all I'm going to say. I don't got to say nothing about Deuce Vaughn. We all know he is a serious problem. Open field, look out. DeMarvin Overshown, he is a problem. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm banking on Overshown. Watch this. Y'all, I'm really finna mess y'all up now. This is how much I believe in Overshown. I'm going to buy his jersey as long as it come out. I love the way he played the game. I love it. I love the way he reminds me of when it comes to the emotion. He plays emotional like Ray Lewis played. Now, I ain't say he was Ray Lewis. I just said emotionally, where when you make a play, you celebrate every play, and when your teammates make a play, you celebrate every play. I mean, and then he runs like his hair's on fire. Full speed, trying to knock your head off. Trust me, that is a weapon. He played just like Donovan Wilson. And if you look at Dan Quinn, this is what if you know anything about the Seattle days, he loves players like this because it reminds him of Cam Chancellor. Now, if you don't remember what Cam Chancellor was, Lord, that's why he like Donovan Wilson so much. Because Donovan Wilson plays like Cam Chancellor. I didn't say he was great as Cam. I just say he plays like him. And Overshown plays like that. Y'all don't believe me. Y'all need to watch the tape. Some of y'all done already seen Overshown. I love Overshown pick. Actually, to be honest with you, that is my favorite pick out the whole draft. And I understand Deuce Vaughn is there. Deuce Vaughn is running a very close second. I'm talking about like the chin off your hair off your chin almost. But I love Over, maybe because I'm a defensive player. I play defense. I just love defense. I love hitting people. I'm sorry, that's just me. I love Overshown. I'm buying this jersey. If all he plays special teams, I'm buying it. I love this kid. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, if you don't do nothing else, while y'all studying film or studying how these guys play, go check out the Marvin Overshown. And then you're going to see why I say a weapon. We gave Dan Quinn another weapon off all the weapons he already got on defense. Our defense is going to be a play-making defense. Look at all the playmakers. Number one, Mr. Parson, Diggs, Gilmore, D-Law, playmakers. OC, playmaker. Dante Fowler, playmaker. Lawrence Armstrong, playmaker. Donovan Wilson, playmaker. Hooker, playmaker. Curse. I mean, I ain't talking about guys just like to tackle. I'm talking about playmakers. This defense is gonna be incredible next year. I'm already saying it. I'm giving us top 5 defense next year. What we finished at? I think we finished at 8 last year, if I'm not mistaken. Finished at 8. Okay, I'm going top 5. I think we're gonna have another big year in sacks, obviously. But because Gilmore is there now, I look. We're gonna get turnovers next year. It's gonna happen. We're gonna be no East Side. You just a hater. So projection wise, this is what it's all about. I see that. All right, I'm done now. I guess let me see if I can get y'all squared away. Hold up before you call. I can open it up. East Side, please don't call with no Houston, Texas stuff, son. I already know you just ran to go. Don't waste my time, East Side. Don't waste my time tonight, son. Phone line open is there for you. 901. Shoot, I forgot the number. 654. Is that right? Yeah, there it is. 654 6853. 901 654 6853. Overall, with the draft, like I said before, I give it a C. But it's not because of the depth chart. Kind of, to be honest with you, the depth chart kind of, in a way, dictated who we picked. You know what I'm saying? Like some of y'all wanted a quarterback. You ain't getting no quarterback. You just signed Cooper Rush. You already got Will Grier. What would you need to draft a quarterback for? See what I'm saying? That would have been a wasted pick. See what I'm saying? This wasn't a year for a quarterback. Why we got another running back, but we took care of that. Tight end, we said a lot of people said we need another tight end. We went and got one. We pretty much said we need offensive linemen. They only drafted one. Now that don't mean they can't get it, in free agency. Okay, I got somebody. Oops, I missed the call. The call back. Why am I not hearing the call? Hold on a second. Hold up. I know who that was. Who that was just called. I'm about to call you right back. Okay, I know why. I'm about to call that person back. There we go. I saw you call whoever that was.
Hello.
Hey, who is this?
This is Terry.
Hey, Terry. What's up, brother? Big time show in the house. What's going on?
I just wanted to say, I understand if I score, I might win. If you never score, I can't lose. It's strength in the strength. And my only thing is, I wish that I ain't the only person that see Tyron Smith gonna play 3 games before he lay down and go out. But I'm hearing Matt Walesko is tearing it up at this TNG and all kind of other stuff. So I hope that to be true. I really do, because Ball looked like the best he could do is be a backup guard, and we need somebody else that can get out there on that. I'll say the hot corner. I'm a baseball man. I need you at that tackle, because I know Tyron Smith ain't got 17 in it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to speak nothing bad on nobody, but history has showed us we are what we repeatedly do, and Tyron ain't got 17 in it.
I agree with that. The track record show you be crazy to say that Tyron Smith is going to play an extended period of time. So that's when the left guard spot, in my view, will come into play, because I feel like that Tyler Smith will move back to left tackle then, and then left guard is kind of open. But if you was on my last show, Terry, see, I think we got some hidden jewels already in the building. Like,
I like Collins.
I love
Collins.
I love Collins. And I love Farrakhan. I love both of them guys. And I just really feel
Farrakhan is. I like Farrakhan in the run game, but he got to show me something with his pass sets. He was getting his behind whooped. I will say that. I'll say that. Well, he was excellent in the run game, but he got his behind whooped in the pass.
Well, that's where I think where the question marks come. And that's the interesting part about, this kid that they drafted. Like, I just think that he comes in battling, Ball and Walesko. I think that's where he comes in battling the kid from North Carolina, the lineman. So that's Richards. That's where I believe he comes into play. Now, that's where I started.
I saw him. I didn't pay much attention to him, but the best thing about it that I learned about offensive linemen is when the game is over, you don't know their name. That means they did their job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things I learned. My son playing football. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So I just think that it's just us talking off top. We don't know when it's time to hit that grass, that's when
Coach Marv, I love that when he said the grass gonna tell it all.
Yes, sir. And Coach Marv be on here in just a second, because I saw he called him. I'm gonna call him right back. Coach, you ain't got to call in. I'm gonna call you right back as soon as I get off the phone with Terry. But that is gonna tell the story. So even, I'm projecting right now. Coach called in anyway. Hold on a second. Let me see.
Call from
Coach Marv.
Okay, let me get him.
You look stupid. Like, what game was you really looking at?
Yeah. Let me make sure, because I don't know if I missed it. Coach Marv, you on here?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Terry, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I hear Coach and I got a chance to go before you. You put yourself out there, make you look like, what game was you really looking at?
Wow, this is my first time I put both folks on here. But since I got all y'all on here, Coach, Terry just said something about what you always have said, and that's the grass is gonna tell it all. Let's start here, Coach. And maybe Terry want to ask you something. I don't know, but I don't see. I just said it before. I don't see where this Richards kid is really going to be. I don't want to use the word a factor, because I'm not expecting him to be a factor. I just don't see how he's going to beat out some of the guys that are backups, I know he ain't beating nobody out as a starter, but I don't see him beating backups. That's just me. Help me out here because you probably know more about the kid than I do.
Yeah, I mean, anybody. We have to understand about the NFL that in the NFL, 25% to 30% of the rosters change every year. That's all over the NFL. So any guy that's drafted has the opportunity to beat out guys at the back end of the roster.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you are a backup in the NFL and they draft a guy in your position, you on a red alert.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that guy comes in and plays just as well as you, and especially if you're in your third or fourth year,
mm-hmm.
and you almost a free agent, yeah, you keep the younger guy because he got more upside to go. And let's don't sleep on Mr. Richards. Mr. Richards, I've done some work on Mr. Richards. Mr. Richards is a good football player, and he's in the Senior Bowl he played. They gave him snaps at guard, center, and he played left and right guard.
You don't get rid of that.
He's a left tackle.
Yeah, you don't get rid of that like
this
that.
Guy's got, and he plays with power. Now, he may have some reason why they talk about moving him into guard because he has some footwork issues, but he's a former basketball player. Matter of fact, he came out of Philadelphia, and he was a highly ranked basketball player. So this guy's an athlete. But he plays with power. He plays with a lot of strength. So this guy is a good developmental piece. And you never know how guys, when they get around better coaching, better players, how they excel. That's the crapshoot with a lot of guys. Some guys shrink. Some guys, once they get around better people and better players and all around them, they play better. So you have to draft the offensive lineman. I think you have to draft the offensive lineman every year.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do that because you have to continue to retool. And I think sometimes we look at guys as fifth round draft picks, and we really forget that. I don't even think people really understand that almost 70% of this league is made up of guys drafted 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round and undrafted picks.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't, when people draft guys and they go, oh, well, he just got, man, and the Cowboys have been very good at undrafted free. There's some undrafted free agents they bought in here that may have an opportunity to press too for that back end of the roster because when the Wesco and Ball, they went 2 or 3 years in. If you find a guy that comes in and plays better, that's 1 year in, you cut bait with that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just plain and simple. Now your starters, they have a little bit more of staying power, but when you guys on the back end of the roster, it's a hurting field.
Terry, you got a question for
Coach
Mark?
Bland came in here last year.
I just wanted to put this in here. I'd be less than a man if I didn't say, because I say it all the time. I tell my son, 6th and 7th round picks is better to go undrafted because you can pick where you want to go. But 6th and 7th round picks, 99.9% of the time, they can't body. They can't body.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at you on tape, I gotta try to find you because you don't stick out.
Yeah.
Well, but you know something, 6th and 7th round picks in the last couple of years, 6th and 7th round picks in these last 2 years are more. There's probably more that made the teams because of the fact when you had the COVID year, you had a lot. It was an influx of a whole lot more players into the draft because the guys held back. So there's way more players. I think you'll start sending back out next year. But there's so many players out there that you can't draft everybody. So you have some guys that sometimes predicted in going to 3rd or 4th round, but the vast amount of players out there, they go in the 6th and 7th round. But if we say that, man, if we said 6th round picks shouldn't have a hard time, Bland wouldn't even be on this team. I think Bland was a 6th round pick.
Whoa.
So was a 6th round. Dog with hard.
And Donovan Wilson was a 5th round pick.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was a sixth round
Cowboy.
Yeah, so you're talking about a lot of guys that once you get in training camp, then there's a lot of guys. I think sometimes we overrate these systems.
Rounds
go out here and they grade these players and put these stock on these players because a lot of that is on a lot of hype, a lot of measurables, but it's basically you get into a camp, and you're right, you get into the camp where they like you and you get into the right fit. And I think the Cowboys have a real guys that get drafted with the Cowboys have a good chance because I think the Cowboys draft guys because they're drafting guys that fit what they want.
Yeah.
So you already, if you drafted, you had something that fit what they wanted, and you come in and do that well, you got a chance to make this football team. Yeah. They just don't draft the guy and say, oh, he's a good talent, and we're going to draft him. He doesn't do what I want. I just want to see what he can do. No, they're going to draft a guy that fits the skill set that they want. So they're going to already like him because they already see that he does whatever job they want him to do, and he does it well. So that's how this went.
You had an advantage because Dan Quinn played a lot of people. I found myself last year having to go to the Google and find out who's number 56, who's this, who's that. This guy making a play. He's not a regular. I mean, Dan Quinn plays a lot of guys.
He plays between 29 and 30 of football players, which is a lot. And we were speaking about the tight end earlier. Make sure you were speaking about the tight end. I had to calm myself down and go back and look. Not just look at the player, but look at what Linda Wells, the tight end coach, said and all the other stuff of why they drafted the guy. And then I had to say this. I'm going to give Mike McCarthy the same benefit of the doubt that I give Quinn. Because every defensive player that we draft is not because it's a guy that everybody was all over. They're drafting Quinn-type players. And it may not be the top-ranked guy, but it might be the guy that he thinks that does what he wants. So if Mike McCarthy feels that about this tight end, right, that does what he wants him to do, I have to trust that that's going to be what he drafted this guy for specific reasons to do what he thinks that we need to fix.
Yeah, like it.
So that's why you have to, because the linebacker Overshawn, a lot of guys passed over him, but Quinn drafted because that fits what Quinn wants. Yeah. That cornerback that they drafted. Yeah. He worked that cornerback. All three of those guys worked out together. Quinn worked all three of those guys out together. The defensive end, the cornerback, as well as
Overshawn.
I think Overshawn. All of them worked out together, and all those worked out with Quinn. And Quinn likes their skill set. And yes, we can talk about, well, how they gonna get on the field. They're not really worried about how they're gonna get on the field. They're worried about they can specifically do a role, and if they may come into training camp and does well. Because when Bland came into training camp, the defensive backs coach said when they got him in OTAs, they knew, even Jordan Lewis spoke about it in OTAs, that this guy's gonna help us. So these people knew when he came in OTAs, they're like, wait a minute, this guy is gonna play.
Yeah. Awesome.
So that's what they're looking at.
You know, it's the ugly elephant in the room. Nobody want to admit or say it. They don't want to speak bad on nobody. But it's that red X on your test paper. It's coming eventually. You're going to get a couple of them injuries. And when them injuries come, you better be ready to go.
Yeah.
Bland was able to do it. When Jordan Lewis went down, Bland stepped up. Just a couple of other ones. And well, let's go. He let me down. I read the tea leaves. He this, that, and the other. And Ball. Everybody told me Ball was the second coming of Tyron Smith. And when he got in the game, it looked like I could have whooped him with this bad leg.
Well, we talking about Ball. We talking about Ball and Wesco, right? And we said about, we talking about Richards, and sometimes we say Richards, how is he gonna beat them out? Do we remember that Ball was a 6th round draft pick, and Wesco is a 5th or 6th round draft pick themselves?
Yeah.
We're not talking about round two guys.
No.
These guys are in the same position
As rich as he is. As rich as he is.
That's it.
Mhm.
So
That's one of them things my dad said.
They on the team.
You want it.
That's right, and that means we have a chance. But I say this, man, and I let y'all go, man. When you get players, and I want people to think about this with all our players, you have, and this is a life lesson about football coaching, any coaching, as well as life. You build a relationship between your coaches and the players, and in any relationship, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to safeguard their weaknesses, cover their weaknesses, and embellish and enhance their strength. If you do that in any relationship, you cover people's weaknesses and safeguard, put a cover over, and don't poke them, don't push those buttons, don't make them feel insecure, don't put them in bad situations in football, and you enhance what they do well, you're going to get the best out of the relationship. You're going to get the best out of the coaching player development. Enhance their push their strength, embellish their strength, and safeguard and hide their weakness.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Going off of that you just said, that theory you just said, I thought if Overshawn was able to drop in a zone, just play a zone, just in that zone. If you in the Overshawn zone, he gonna clean your clock. That boy hit everything. I mean, I looked at his highlights. He hit everybody every time.
But what if you put Overshawn? What if you put Overshawn in a position as a strong side linebacker and tell him to take on the tight end every play and try to set the edge? That's not his strength.
That's not his strength. You can't set the edge. You're on 225.
there you go.
Tackle, tear him up. You know that about that. Tight end.
So he looks bad.
Yeah.
And when he looks bad, right? If let's say you do that to a Big Show and he looks bad, that's a broken relationship between the player and the coach, because now the coach is not covering your weaknesses; he's exposing your weaknesses, and he's not helping your strengths. So now the relationship and the trust goes out the window. That's just like in football and anything else. If you don't cover your partners or your players' weaknesses and enhance and push their strengths, you will have a bad relationship, and usually it doesn't work out well and in any area of life.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, one quick question. Could Overshawn be a spy?
God, yes.
He could be a spy, but he's going to be a spy, but just don't think Overshawn's going to have a big role. He's going to have a minimal role where he gets some time, but they're going to they're so deep on defense, they're going to bring him along, get him confidence, put him in only spots that he can do well, and then they're going to grow him even more. Just like Sam Williams. Sam Williams is going to get a bigger role this year. Last year, they just put him in a role for him to get 5 or 6 sacks and be successful. Now, they're going to add to his plate and put him in a bigger role. That's how you bring along younger guys, unless they're Michael Parsons and they're all-world guys. That's a different story. But if they're not all-world, build them slowly, give them confidence, and they'll grow and they'll be a good player for you, and they'll be a big part of the team because they will make an impact in the plays that you want them to make an impact. Don't put too much on them and don't expect so much of them.
Let me say
this.
I
expect Sam to set the edge.
Well, no, he can't do that to you. He's too small. He's too small. But what you can do on obvious pass rushing downs, you can put him on the edge. Why? We saw that in Texas already. He can do that. But I'll tell you something else that he can do. You can put him in the middle of a field on obvious 3rd and longs, because that's what he did at Texas. They put him in the middle. They let him drop back in coverage. They let him kind of man the middle. This dude is different, man. I'm talking about he is really a X-factor type defensive player. But I'm not saying that he's going to get
nugget.
Go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
I'm giving y'all a nugget, Big Show. I'm giving you a nugget. If the guy from San Diego State plays like I think he can play, with his strength. He got strength bloodlines. He's a very strong guy, right? And he is excellent against the run. He's an edge, but he's more of a 5 technique, 3-4 type guy. So he's an edge guy, but he is excellent in the run game and setting the edge. If he plays well and he just does his job at doing that, you will see that if the snaps with Dorrance Armstrong, nobody else will fall significantly. Cowboys will be already looking to trade him, and they may fall to a point where Dorrance Armstrong might be the same cut as what's the guy that they had last year, Basham. Basham got cut last year. Dorrance Armstrong might be the cut this year that they let go for other guys to get playing time, and because they feel deep.
I think
he might be their guy.
I think it's a double role, Coach, because they're not going to pay DeMarcus Lawrence next year. So I think I believe you
they're not going to cut them off.
Yeah, they're not going to.
DeMarcus, I think DeMarcus is going to retire. I heard some rumblings, man. DeMarcus his body is he played hurt all last year, and he played well. Listen, people don't see.
In the Pro Bowl last year.
And listen, you ask any of the players that play against him, all the team play against him, he is well respected because he do dirty things. And as well, he causes turnovers. Every year he causes either 3 to 4 turnovers every year. And listen, it makes a lot of tackles for a defensive lineman. Just because he can't finish guys off like he did because his legs and the pain he goes through, but he is fortunate enough to get 3 contracts in a football career. Even though there's no more contracts for him. He was fortunate enough to get 3 separate contracts, and that is amazing for a player at defensive end to get 3 contracts. So he got 3 contracts. This is where this swan song. He's probably not looking for another contract. He's not going to move no place else. When you done played 10 some years, made your home, you're not going to just move up and go somewhere else and uproot your family, go somewhere else. This is it for DeMarcus Lawrence, and I hope he goes out with a Super Bowl. But yes, you had to draft a guy because you understand that DeMarcus Lawrence is going to be gone, and you got to get some defensive ends in there to cover. But this guy from San Diego State is not a bad player. And he's got bloodlines, and he's been drafted because he has specific qualities that Dan Quinn's like, and they're gonna make sure that he does those things over and over again, so he will look good. Because he's not gonna do stuff he's not good at.
I appreciate both of y'all, man. Thank y'all so much.
I appreciate the big show.
I ain't done that, never done this, so we just did it first. Now I know I can have 3 people on at the same time. Appreciate you, Terry. Thanks for hanging with me, bro.
All right.
Thank you, Coach.
Hey, man, enhance the weaknesses.
Better.
Hey, man, push the weaknesses. Thank God to push the strength, and thank God the weaknesses, man. You'll work out a whole lot better with a whole lot of situations.
You're right there, right. Appreciate y'all.
All right, man.
That's good right there.
So, based off what you just heard from Coach Marv and Terry Turner and Coach Marv, listen, I guess you can sprinkle a little bit what I said there. When you hear that, you know, unless you just a flat out hater, you can't help but say that the Cowboys really, overall are in real good shape. Seriously. I mean, they have built this, we wanted some dogs. We got them this year. We wanted from the free agency market. We wanted we got that. Well, no, we got it in trades. We really didn't get it in the free agency market. We got it in trades, but we got some real high quality players that took everybody's mind off free agency because we got Cooks and then we got Gilmore. But to be honest with you, the Cowboys have stuck to their system, and they really do believe in the draft and developmental strategy of building the football team. And when you look at these guys here and see what they bring to the table, especially the first 3 picks, to me, Coach Marv has said the first 5 picks to be on the end. Let's go with this, really everybody except the 7th round. If Coach Marv was here, because he shed light on that he worked out Fiaco, he worked out, when I say he, I'm talking about Coach Quinn. He worked out Eric Scott, the corner, and he worked out Overshown together, and he liked the skill set. So these are all Dan Quinn picks, and I believe by now in Quinn we trust. So this is they really have built this team up the right way, if you want to say that. They haven't got real greedy. They really haven't kind of overstepped themselves. They've picked out the quality picks, and I guess it's a good place to shout out Will McClay. If you saw the video today, the Cowboys they released where they were debating on first round pick with Mozzie Smith, you will notice in the video that really they leaned solely on Will McClay. I mean, how valuable really, we've always said how valuable he is, but I think this, for the first time, they let us see just how valuable Will McClay really is. Will McClay was the guy, it was Coach McCarthy, I believe it was Coach McCarthy said it came down to a guard and Mozzie Smith. They asked him, tell us what's going on here. And Will, just like clockwork, told them that, hey, we're down to these 2 guys. We haven't had a defensive tackle drafted this high in a very, very long time. He said they asked him which one should we do? Offensive guard or defensive tackle? Will said we should go defensive tackle. They immediately said turn the card in. I may need to put that on my big time. I should have had it here, but I didn't think I was gonna throw that in. I'm gonna put that on my big time show Facebook page. I'm gonna put that on my big time show Facebook page. Those that follow me, if you don't follow me on Facebook at the Big Time Show, you need to probably go there as well. If you follow me by YouTube, just follow the both of them. Because that's why I put that video and the other video. So let's do that. Will McClay needs to be commended, but really overall, the Cowboys are solid, man. I mean, really. It's not the sexiest ways. It's not the sexiest picks. It's not the sexiest, but it's solid picks. This is how you build a football team. They've done well. I see. Put it this way. I think we're better. I know we're better defensively. Ain't no question about that. And I know we're better offensively. I know we are. Just by adding a Gilmore to this defense and then by adding a Brandon Cooks to this offense, that alone makes you a better offensive and defensive football team. But then we got added so much more. We added so much more. So I think we're on the right track. But as Coach Marv said, and a lot of other people say, when you get out them shorts and you got to go ahead and get on the grass and folks start hitting people, now we're going to find out who really come to play. So Joe says Zeke would be icing on the cake. At this point, Joe, I don't, where you going to play? The only place that he can play unless they really just don't believe in Ronald Jones. If Ronald Jones is not the guy, then yeah, you can put Zeke back in. But number one, Zeke would be the number 2 running back. I hate to say that, but we all know I've seen that movie before with Zeke. I don't like it no more. That's just me. Yeah, I just Zeke. I don't. I know everybody getting excited about the. Like I say, with Zeke, same old situation. Zeke getting 1 or 2 yards a gain, and even though he was very productive last year. You don't want to do that. He was productive from the. He was productive from the red zone. Excuse me, from the goal line position. He had 12 touchdowns. He did do that. He was a good short yardage running back. No doubt about that. But Zeke can't get you 2-3 yards apart. He's not that dude. He's just not. It is what it is. And like I said, Ronald Jones gonna have a lot to say about that. I don't think the Cowboys really are thinking about Zeke. I just think they're saying all the right things. They could have already brought Zeke back by now. They would not do that, and they're getting younger. You had Vaughn there, Malik Davis is still young. These guys are still young. Malik Davis is still young. Pollard, of course, is young, even though he may not be ready. Rico Dowd, who's still on our team, is young. These guys, and then of course Deuce just got drafted, so we're loaded at running back. I really don't see where Zeke will come in. Now, of course, when you start talking injuries, as somebody, I think Terry said it earlier, that's when Zeke is gonna probably get signed. His injuries. That's when he gonna get signed. Everybody get excited about Zeke during this time because Zeke be doing the same thing. He started getting these Instagram videos with him running through air, and he doing all this hollering and jump cutting and all that kind of stuff. He looked better in videos than he did in the game. I don't see no jump cuts in the game. I don't see none of that agility that he doing. I don't see none of that. All I see is a bowling ball. Just run and fall now. That's all I see in the game. All that stuff on Instagram, we don't see that. This is when he always clown, running through tires and barrels and running around and jump cutting and hollering and screaming and all that kind of stuff. And then get into the game and we can know where to be found. I don't see the benefit of having Zeke. That's just me, but for Cowboy fans, y'all, these are, a lot of people wanted Dez back when Dez wasn't right. So, if you want the feel good story, I get it. But football wise, he just don't fit anymore. Mike McCarthy is building a fast offense. Fast. Ain't no bowling balls there. The only bowling ball, we got 2 bowling balls for running back, real bowling balls. Ronald Jones is a bowling ball when he wants to be. All right. Rico can pound it. Those are the bowling balls if you want to go. Pollard can get there too. You just don't want him doing it too much. And Deuce can do it as well, but you don't want him taking too many shots as well. So I just don't see Zeke. Jones can do the goal line offense too. Just got to be honest. It's just a time to move on. It's just Zeke time. God bless him. We thank him for his years of service. He was very productive, but it's just time to move on. Can't be, that. And look, we've done enough of the feel good signings over the years. We kept Sean Lee too long. We done kept Tyron Smith too long. If you ask me, we kept Jason Witten too long just to feel good. Now, look, let the young dogs get out there and punt. whatever position that is. Let them get out there and let's get something going. That's just what I'm saying. I'm tired. Give me some young legs out there. I don't need no, feelings, signings with feelings. Yeah, exactly. Kellen Moore, all that type of stuff. Same stuff. That's a penalty that the Cowboys have had over the last 10 years at least. And it's probably more than that since I said Sean Lee. See, we got to break away from that mentality. Let these guys that know how to play, let them play. Instead of being loyal to people that it's time is gone. Donovan Wilson had to fight his way, knowing he was one of the better players on the field. They wanted to be loyal to folks like that. Come on now. I'm glad they let Bland play last year. He was playing. Stop being loyal to people that don't deserve to be on the field now. It's football. You're trying to win a world championship, put the right people in the game. If your best five, look, if your second string is playing better than your Pro Bowler, put the second stringer in. Sorry. See, they loyal to LVE. See what I'm saying? But you got Bland, what's my guy's name? You got the linebackers there. The kid from LSU. You got Harper. You got Clark. The linebackers. Now you got Overshawn there. I wish y'all would be trying to talk about LVE. LVE got to bring it this year. See what I'm saying? I got real dogs that's in the cage, ready to go, ready to rock. They can play. Now, I don't want to hear nothing about LVE. If he ain't playing well, sit him down. I'm sorry. I got dogs that's ready to hunt. You killing me. You're killing me by leaving the dogs in the cage. They ain't helping us. We got a world championship going now. I ain't got time to be happy and trying to be, feel good and all that. No. Zeke time is up. That's why I ain't been signed by nobody. Zeke know he ain't getting no big payday. He still ain't got signed. And the free agency period just opened. He still ain't got signed. You know why? Because everybody's seeing him like most people are. They're saying he washed up. He's not the same guy. It is what it is. All right. I'm done. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening to me, man. I've been here on here a little while. We had a very interesting discussion. Joe, you the only one. Terry, I don't know if you put it down, but if you did not tell me what your draft grade is for the Cowboys, go ahead and put it up now. A, B, C, D, or F. Give me a draft grade. Joe, Terry, I don't know if you came in. All those that came in late, let's put everybody on record here. Go ahead and give me your draft grade real quick. Joe says a B. Okay. Joe says a B. Terry, you the last one. I think you still here. What you got, Terry? What you giving? What you giving them overall draft this year? I don't know if Terry's still here or not, but if he's not, I gave it a C. Terry says a C plus. We kind of cut from the same mode. So, I ain't never seen no A's for the Cowboys. I pretty much seen B's and C's. And it's not because of the players. It's because of, these guys, man, we stacked. See a lot of guys that's going to play special teams. I see a day one starter in Mozzie. I see Overshawn as a contributor, definitely special team starter. I see Shoon, my tight end from Michigan, Shoemaker. I believe that he's I believe he comes in as our 3 third tight end, but with the possibility of fighting to be a number 2 tight end. I believe he has a chance there. Fiego, with the way that Coach Quinn plays players, if he can play, he'll get on the field because he plays a lot of people. Richards, Coach Marv kind of shed more light. I'm going to lean toward his expertise on that as far as Richards, the lineman, goes. One thing that he did say, and we heard it, that he plays not only tackle, but he played guard and center. So that's 3 positions that he can play. You know the Cowboys love stuff like that. They always say flex guys, and so he definitely won. Coach Marv kind of shedded light on for those of us that know that these guys were on the 30 visits. Eric Scott, Quinn loves them. Hey, he worked them out, he drafted them. Deuce Vaughn, I believe, will be an immediate contributor for this offense. And I don't think Jalen Brooks will make it at all. All right. Yeah, I know they signed the fullback from North Dakota State. I know that. So if they sign the fullback, what that automatically tells you that the days of the single back offense, I ain't gonna say it's all over, but because of Zeke, and that's what he liked. Zeke loved the single back defense. Because of that, they never really concentrated on the fullback, and so now it tells you that the fullback probably is going to be a primary position in Mike McCarthy's offense, which I really don't have any problem with. I think Tony Pollard runs better with a fullback anyway. That's me. Terry closed it out, said, improvement starts with Prescott. He needs to step his game. It just depends on how they play, Terry. You know, I saw this offense last year play extremely well with Cooper Rush as quarterback without Cooper Rush having the real stats. It was the mentality and the style or the way they played the game was the reason why we just ran off the game, because it wasn't about the quarterback. It was about running the football with occasional throws by the quarterback, timely throws by him, and playing incredible defense. We won the game. Now that ain't gonna happen with Dak Prescott because they gotta, they feel like the quarterback is a strength. And he is. He's better than Cooper Rush, so they got to feature him. And then you don't get no Brandon Cook. You don't get no Brandon Cooks, or you don't get guys like that. And then talking about just flat out just run. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. All right, I'm done. That's it. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for hanging with me. Go ahead and get them hand clap emojis together. Appreciate the super chats from Terry and Eastside Harold. Thank y'all for contributing to the podcast. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all trust. I appreciate y'all support. I'm out of here. Tomorrow night, I might come on again because the Los Angeles Lakers are playing tomorrow, and I got to go and set up what I think is going to happen in the series, all right? So I may be on tomorrow real early before the game starts or whatever. We'll talk about my Lakers as we go ahead and try to get ready for the Golden State Warriors. We got to get there, all right? I appreciate y'all so much. I'm out of here. Thanks for hanging with me one more time, y'all. This has been the Big Time Show.